People, DG, I'm back again. Good evening and thank you for tuning in. Now, Unai Emery, for me, to a degree, for all his positives and all his criticisms and your opinions or my opinions, personally, I think he's between a rock and a hard place. I have a lot of sympathy for him. Obviously, at the end of the day, he's a manager. He signed up for the job, so this is the sword he dies on. But I feel he's damned if he do, damned if he don't. On one hand, we can all admit some of these players are past it and whatnot. We need to go with, if not for age, but young players and people behind the scenes as well. But young players, you've got to build the team around, regardless of your opinions of them. The Torreiras, the Holdings, the Mavropanoses, probably for me, I would like Bielik, obviously the Nelsons, the Emils, Guendouzi's obviously been poor. You see what I'm saying? You know where I'm going with these sort of players, people, building a side around them. Leno's not the oldest, so again, don't paraphrase me on ages, people, but they've got the sort of energy to go forward and they're not there before their prime. On one hand, we know we need to do that, but on the other hand, I don't think many people are competent to realise a lot of things. For instance, Holding and Saliba people. Why do I keep calling this man Saliba? For instance, one's 18, one's Holding's 23. How many career appearances have they made, people? I keep giving you a lot of these examples. Saliba was playing 23's football last year, or 23's, 19's football last year by his own words. Holding has not made 100 appearances for Arsenal. He gets played a regular football in patches, but he hasn't played it in spells. If you haven't got them games, more experience. So I think Holding and him, for example, or Holding and Mavropanos, or Holding and Bielik, or Bielik and Mavropanos, whatever young pairing people, I think they would do quite well 9 out of 10. But there will be games, they're headless chickens, they're pressing when they don't need to press, they're vacating space, they're not following runners, they're not aware of things. There will be times of that youthful naivety and that rough diamond sort of approach. There will be time for that. Most fans won't be competent enough to see that. You and I will, because we rock with the best channel out there. But many fans just moan for the sake of it. They'll moan for these young players while they're not getting chances, moan that they're playing, moan and just moan and rant. Many people won't have that. Obviously, if we do that and it's working well, some people will side with Emery. People will see if we're... Hopefully, we'd still be competitive more than we are now, but competitive. But we might slip. If we slip, like I said at the start, that's his sword to die on, people, essentially. He might be sacked and things like that. So he needs experience and he needs the right blend of youth and people that can hit the grounds running. But like I said, we know we need to just go back to basics, strip the team bare and move forward with the Maitland-Nileses as well and all of these young players. So does he bring in experienced players? Obviously, Socrates came in. Opinions are opinions. He's not world-class, but he's been competent. I'm of the opinion, to a degree, I think you need a couple, when I say Socrates in this video, I mean in terms of this sort of age. Anything from 26 to a short-term signing of 30 or something like that. Obviously, Socrates is 32. But you do need them experienced heads, or even though they're not of that age, you're looking to the Torreiras or the Lenos or fairly established career players to kind of guide these youths, because you can't have 10 kids, because 10 games, we don't know what we're going to get for them. On one hand, you don't know me, I know this youth thing. We put our hands around them, we let them develop. But at the same time, we need to remember when they have bad games. So I do think, does he, as much as he needs experience to kind of guide these players, on the other hand, the mature players that are here and might have to stay here because of contracts and all of these sort of things, they've got bad habits and they think the way they think, and some of them have played for their countries and clubs for a lot of time, so they're already set in the ways they're thinking. And I think they all bend to Unai Emery's way of thinking, but the ones that don't, they've already made their minds up. Do you just concede that you might be less competitive and you focus on the children for his sake, if not for the fact that they're kids and the way people gas up the Nelsons and the Bieliks and all of these players I love myself, people, just because you can mould them into your image? If you say 10 laps, they're going to do it, because even if they hate you, they want to play football for Arsenal. They want to play career appearances. He can mould them into his image, his way of thinking, his sort of army. Do you get it, people? They're of the age where they're kind of, obviously they've learnt football and some will be set in their ways already, but they can be moulded more than these players that have made however many appearances for their previous clubs and countries and played under this manager and that manager. Does he take I think Holding to a degree could be moulded, but these sort of guys, does he mould them, take these players for, if not for wanting to play, I keep saying kids, it sounds so condescending, young adults, young players like myself, young players, does he just concede that and think, okay, I can mould these players? Like I said, if I they might be more receptive to my tactics than, I don't know, for instance, I'm not saying he does it, but Ozil or Xhaka or whoever, they might be like, Wenger did this, Ancelotti did that. Do you get it, people? I'm just naming random managers. Jose said this. Why is he doing it like that? When these young players, they might be saying, oh, but Lundberg when we was in the 23s did this, but they're more receptive to that. And if they're more receptive, you have more chance of getting your understanding and your way of thinking sort of thing jetted and bedded into the team, people. That's just me personally. Obviously, when you consider the likes of we know the Bait Academy ones, the Amichis, the Sackers, the Emil Smith Rowes, the Nelsons, all of the Maitland Niles is there now, the Guendouzi's, obviously these young players that are kicking on first team and the ones that are there already, and some of the sort of more experienced players in Leno and Torreira that are young on the age side, but in terms of playing career football, they're quite experienced of sorts. With alleged names to come in, like which I hope for, Saliba, Alexis Claude Maurice, Claude Alexis Maurice, sorry. Who else as well? Martinelli's to come as well. These are young players. They will be inconsistent. They're still learning. But when you patch them in with Lacazette and probably Torreira and Holding, he could mould the team into his way of thinking. Obviously, with new additions, we hope it's another centre half and the left back lands people, of course. But that's just my thinking around it. Could if not for wanting to play young players, if he's not even on that, could just for that sake, people. Who knows, man. On that note, I'm going to keep it moving. I have no more to add, people. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. People, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching.